what's right, what's wrong?
What's right and what's wrong?
Yeah, what's right, what's wrong?
Well, I mean, at its most simplest form, does it cause harm? Or, injury, basically.
To whom?
Well, to a living entity.
So if you're in a boat that holds only 10 people, there's only 10 people, and there's people swimming toward you. This is a famous Tragically Hip song,
What?
When they what was the song? It's one of the first albums I got exposed by them.
Yeah.
There's a song, I can't remember the name, but it's basically a dream. It's about a dream where he dreams about how if they allow more people in the boat
Mm-hmm.
will sink and everyone will die. So you're kind of prompted to have to kill people.
Well, it's like the train thing too, right?
That's the trolley problem.
Yeah, the trolley.
This is directly the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why what's right and wrong, what's true and false in a scientific context is whether you have enough marbles on the table. Can you count the marbles? This is why I find that mixing too many scientific lingo into trying to make ethical decisions is such a bad idea. Because you cannot forget about the underlying ethical values in the picture. So, the question is more what's right. It's not. What I've realized is that it's not about whether it's right or wrong, but for whom it is right and whom it is wrong.
Okay.
Right? Because the value systems or the means or the rules and laws of a society are right for the people who have decided to give their allegiance to that society to some degree, right?
Okay.
Right. So that's what's right for that society, right? So that's why the definition of what's right and wrong is not mathematical, but it's really defined on. It's biological, really, because cultural is born out of biology. Right? And out of our needs. Mm-hmm. So if you have a community or people who were born very aggressive, like that's just this is where it becomes hard to talk about it, because we breed dogs to make them a specific way.
Yeah.
But if you suggest that humans can be throughout ages be shaped up into either through maintaining marrying off the aggressive or the smart ones with this ones or that ones with you marry them off so that they can carry on those genes, or you train them to be a specific way. You're actually creating a specific order within a society that is based on the needs of these people. So if you have a society that has very aggressive people, then you'll have a very warlike society. So going to war can be the right thing to do for people who need war, if that makes sense. And so the concept of a need is a very tricky one, because on one hand it's something that you're just born with, because without being alive, needs make no sense. The actual expression of the need is the concept of life. And then when you say, well, I have to do this, and you say, well, you don't have to do it. Well, do you or do you not, if it's your need, for in the context of the social structure. So the way I understand what's right and wrong is whether if the system was developed in such a way to create a specific role that would attend to a specific need of the people, because there's a bunch of needs that we have, right? And if a specific rule is developed in such a way that aids or attends to that need, then that's right. That's how I would define it.
So something that I would throw in there is that when we have these sort of negative emotions, right? These emotions that put us in lower vibrational states, let's call it.
Okay.
That it's usually an unmet need that needs to be filled in order to become so when you're talking about, like, say, aggressive, angry culture, let's say, right?
Yeah.
That would reflect some kind of an unmet need.
No, it could go both ways, actually. If you're... that's a good twist, actually. That's very good. Because it depends whether the anger is being done in the name of something that you should just do in the name of society, or if it's a response to something that you don't like that's being done.
So what I'm thinking of specifically is statements that have been made about, like, from the oligarchs of what's going on here today, about, for example, us living in an angry world, right?
Right.
And this is all in coordination with needs that are being unmet, basically. That people will be essentially angry with the world that they're in, because my perspective would be that they're not having needs met, and so they're angry.
That's right. Yes. Now, absolutely, yeah, that would be the definition of it. So the anger, right. My angle was a bit different. There's this different element to anger.
So tell me about what your angle was. Because I'm giving you, like, sort of
no. You're actually 100% correct that a general my angle to that would be that you, whenever your needs not met, you approach it with anger and attack, rather than, say, with conversation and understanding first. Right?
So then that would be a product of culture.
Of culture, right? That's right. So it's like, and if you have if you're teaching everyone within your group to always fight with somebody when it's not their way, then you're breeding an angry-like culture. And you would say that's the right way to do it, because we have to fight against oppression, or whatever you want to call it, whether it's right or not. So then it can create anger. It can make anger a right thing to do, which is justifiable. So you have to fight for your rights, right?
Well,
so,
and you also have to feel how you're feeling, right? So if you're angry, if you suppress that, it's going to cause more damage.
Right. Now, but is it justified every time to do it? If you're only running this to be angry and fight, because, like, I've throughout the years, another thing that I've learned is that there's levels of steps that you can go through. I mean, every HR book would ironically have this, is that you should go and have a nice conversation with the person and discuss it before you would ever resort to wanting to attack them right away for what they've done, right? So it's about conduct. It's about how you behave within society is ultimately what shapes whether the society is right or wrong. What my point is that the reason why I brought up the anger one is that you could actually create a society that is very reactive and angry and confrontational without doing any of the understanding steps before, and still call it that it's the right thing to do.
Just because feel like that's sort of what's happening.
I know. That's why we're starting our smaller groups that are all based on love.
Yes.
Because it's missing, right? And that's how you can promote this kind of way of being amongst people within a larger societal system that is actually lacking attendance to that.
So what you're saying is, like, if the larger cultural body is saying, reactivity and anger is the way to go.
Yes.
And you're in that and not feeling like that is the way to go.
That's right.
You can create small bacteria-like groups in that larger pods in that larger culture, and eventually that's going to shape the culture, because you have it's going to
or witches are going to be burnt on the stake. That's the thing. This is my point. Depends how much it gets heard.
Yeah.
Because you can have, sorry to interrupt, but that's ultimately the point.
Yeah.
It depends whether you can, and I agree with you. You have to create the smaller system with the hopes of raising the odds of that happening. But I'm just saying there's no guarantees.
But even what you're saying is that good bacteria, should you not notice it in the culture, it's still benefiting the whole culture.
Yeah, but you'll still take the what is it called? The
antibacterial
the drugs to flush the whole system and not think about it. This is my point, is like it depends whether you're attending to it or not.
Right. So
in society, we're really neglecting a lot of the kind of like being there with the heart element for people. you know?
I guess the comparison I'm making is where you see the bacteria in the body that you don't notice, right? But it's benefiting the body.
Totally.
Right?
Yes, that would be an example.
And it's benefiting the body because it's inside the body and it's connected, right? Just like the air between us is connecting us together, right?
That's right.
And just the same as the social gathering that is based around love is connected by, let's say, the air and the space in between
the interactions as well.
The
whole
interactions.
thing.
But then I'm also looking at the larger context of that. The bacteria, that positive bacteria, that's the social group, okay, that's still connected to the larger culture, and the larger culture has no idea. But yet, the air between the people in that room and, like, you know, authoritarian psychopaths it's still connected.
Yes,
there is something that that can still be positive even if the larger culture isn't aware of it.
Absolutely, because those people who attend these events still exist within the confines of the larger society. They still go back into the society feeling different, thinking differently, and then radiating in a different way within that society. They'll show up at the work next day feeling good,
and
and they're like,
people are like, what are you taking?
Well, it's kind of like getting laid really well, right?
Right.
And that's another thing, is like, how much do you repress society sexually as well? And here's where the rubber really hits the road.
Okay.
And that is that yet again, I go back to the fact that that what is it, the KGB guy Yuri Bezmenov, who said that the act of promoting hateful and divisive dialogues is a way to kind of dismantle a society.